We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. And this is our podcast. And I have Alina from Poland. I have Jackie globally and resides in Arizona. I have Renata and I have Susie with me. And my name's Carol Witt. And I am also a global leader. And I'm going to bring Alina on and have her introduce our guests today. Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. My big thank you to you and all co-hosts. I'm really happy we are all together here to hear the story of Thelmah Mdala, a wonderful woman I met in Malawi. She's an artist, passionate humanitarian, founder of Silver Bells Helping Hands Clinic and Rehabilitation Center, Teen Girls Club, nursery and school in Lilongwe, Malawi. This is a woman with the heart of gold, and I think her greatest treasure is a big charisma and her passion for helping children with disabilities, among other people who need really help. But I just want to say hello, Thelma. We are very happy to host you and give a mic to you. Please share your story.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I'm overwhelmed. I'm a pleasure that you invited me here and you'd like to sit and hear from me. That is, to me, that is very great that people would make time just to hear what I have to say. I'm honored. Thank you very much. Like Alina says, I am Thelmah Mdala. I was raised in Zimbabwe. My dad is, I will say I'm very African because my dad was part Mozambican, part Tanzanian from Zanzibar. And then my mom was part Malawian and part South African. I was raised in Zimbabwe and now I'm married in Malawi. So I am very African. Yes. So I was born to an artist. My father was an artist. He was a very great artist. And since the beginning of my time, my siblings and I, all we did was art. We went to school, yes, very much. Daddy educated us very well, but we lived in art. We breathed art. We absorbed art. And then during the course of our time, my dad and my mom, they divorced when I was 5. My first week into primary school, into the first grade. They divorced, mommy left, and we were brought up by our single dad. So because my father was a very wealthy man, and then he had the capacity of having women come and go as he pleased. It brought, I think it injured my mother to an extent. She ended up thinking that she had this thought to say, artists are wild people. You cannot make anything good out of artists. So by the time when I was 18, daddy got sick, and then that was the only time he allowed our mother to take us because our father was very attached to us. He wouldn't let us go away for holidays for long times. He wouldn't let us to live with our mothers because he had his own problems, the womanizing, yes, there was the alcohol, but he loved us dearly. It was an infinity. He wouldn't let us go. But then at 18, when I turned 18, it was only my sister and I out of the 5 children that we were living with him since we were born. All the other 3 had grown up. They had left the house. So it was me and my baby sister. She was 15. I was 18. And then he grew sick. He called our mom. He told mommy was in Malawi that time. He told mom that she could take us. We thought we were going to Malawi to visit her for the holidays. We were very excited. But then when we got here after the holidays ended, We were expecting to go back home. That's when daddy told us, "You're not coming back here. I'm sick. I'm old. I cannot take care of teenagers like you are. You are young women now. You need proper guidance. You need your mom." So for us, it was it was traumatic to an extent. It was because we grew very attached to this man. It was the only life we knew. And then there were transitions that took place that we had to adjust.
Mm.
And Ma wouldn't have the art part of us. She wouldn't have none of it because, according to her, she thought artists are wild. She wanted us to go to college, get certified in college, get proper jobs, be proper women, be proper women. So we couldn't really chase our artistic nature with mommy.
Mm.
So I did when I went to college, and then I was certified as a computer engineer. But a big part of me did it for mom. I wanted to make her happy. I wanted to silence her. And in Africa, we're told if you're a woman and you go get married, it is nowadays we're told you get married and you don't have a proper job, you don't have a proper qualification. These men, they will toss you left, right, and center. You will not be respected. Go to school, go to school. So I did. And just soon after, I found the love of my life. God bless my husband. We got married, and now I could do as I pleased. Now I'm in my own house, and then my husband was supportive. And then I went back to art. So just some meters away from where I live, we are at the border of a very high density area and a middle density area. I live in the middle part, and then just across the road, there's a very high density area. So I was privileged to buy a piece of land there. It was cheap for me at that time. And then when I did, I built a small shop for my business. Okay, by the way, let me brag a little. I make these, if you can see.
Oh.
Yeah. So I did, yeah. I make these. I'm into fashion. I do interior decor. So I had a small shop and I was doing that. So just behind the shop, there are children coming from that area. It's a very high density area. They would come, they want pieces of fabric, they want to make their dolls. Small children, you'd see as old as 3, 4, 5. They'll come, they want to play. I entertained them, but then after some time, I began to know that they were flooding my shop, and I had to find a way to take them out. So at the back of the shop, there was a small house. I wasn't using it, so I opened it to them, and I told them, "You can come get the rags here, and then you go play at the back," because it was making a mess of the shop. And then before I knew it, all the children from primary school were coming. They would still come to the shop. They wanted me to help them with their homework. They'll tell me, "Mommy cannot read. Mommy is illiterate. Help me with this, help me with that." And then before I knew it, again, I was in trouble. I had large numbers of children at the back of the house. They would still come to the shop. They want my attention. I ended up having to get somebody, a part-time caregiver, to look after them because it was disturbing my work at the shop. I got the part-time caregiver. And then I remember that time it was October, November, December. It's in summer. During that time here in Malawi, it's very hot. So sometimes I'll just go to the back and check on them. And then you find that some of them, they get sick. They're sick. They've got rashes. You send them back home, but they don't get any clinical care. They come, you would see that there's something wrong with this child. After you're interviewing them, you find out they're hungry. Now I end up having to buy snacks for them. And then after some time, I decided it was overwhelming me. There were now up to 70, 80, 90 numbers in numbers every day. And this is a small piece of land. Yeah, it's only 15 by 30 meters. And then I had a lot of children. Some of them are playing. You find some of them are sleeping. And the house was very small to occupy all of them. So it overwhelmed me. And I just thought of a trick. I told them, "You are naughty, you make noise. I want to send you back home. You cannot come here again." I really had to be brave to do that. But I thought, I'm not in the capacity of holding such a large number of children in the same place. So I did that. And the next day, my heart was breaking. I couldn't go to work because I didn't want to face them. But then early in the morning, they came at my door. at my gate now. They were knocking, please come back. The older ones would write small notes, toss them over the gate. We'll be good. We're not going to be noisy again. I tried to stand my ground. It happened for 3 days. When my husband wants to move out of the parking lot, out of the gate, you find they've blocked the gate. It was difficult. And then after 3 days, that's when my husband said, I'm not going to have this. We are disturbing these children. Just go back. I'll help you this time. I'll help you. We'll find a way out of this. Yes, it was heartbreaking. So I went back. I tried to talk to the parents. We tried to at least get contributions out of the community so that I can get more caregivers. And then one thing led to another, one thing led to another. I found myself with a school. This is something I was not looking for. I found myself with a nursery school. I found myself with a school for after classes. When they knock off in the afternoon, they'll come to me, we'll do homework. It was a beautiful disaster. I didn't go looking for it, but to at the end of the day, I found that I had a school with lots of children, 70, 80. I went on with the flow, and then now my problem came with the sicknesses. They get sick. You go, you consult their parents. They'll tell you that here we do day-to-day jobs. We're not employed. I have to find a job for today and feed these children today. So if you tell me that this one is sick and I have to leave all my work for today, I'll go to the hospital, come back. It's far. They have to walk. It's a long way off. But then when I come back, the rest of these 4 children have no food. And even this one, she's on medication, but I don't have food for them. So it happened for a long time. I couldn't take it again. That's when I went to the Ministry of Health. I told them that we really need a clinic where I stay. I've got this case. So they told me that the government doesn't have money to just build clinics nilly-willy just because somebody wants them. So I told them that I have the piece of land where I'm running this facility is mine. They told me that they'll need the community to make contributions if they're to send us a clinic. So we came to an agreement. At least once every week, it's on a Friday, we hold a clinic for the children. They give us the medical personnel and the drugs. I offer the facility and the running of the facility, and then the community, they make contributions to. Alina, you'll be in a better place to tell me how much 400 kwacha is in dollars. It's some cents. Yeah, I think.
Give me a while. I'm not good at it at all. At all. I keep counting every time I'm there. 1 second. 400 kwacha?
Yes.
400 or 400,000?
400 kwacha only.
Only 400 kwacha. It's just 23 cents.
What?
Yeah.
My
So that is the contribution, because if we take it any higher than that, they are not going to be able to afford it. So this happened in 2017. We eventually started the clinic very early 2018, and then now I'm very proud to say that since 2018 up to now, had it been all our registers were intact, we would have now, it's 6,000 plus women and children, because we also do contraceptives for the women, because we found out there was a problem of the birth control was not adequate. So a baby is some months old, mommy is already pregnant, the baby's another baby comes. You'll probably find that a woman has 7 children, the oldest is 9, the youngest is a year old. So it will be happening. So this was giving problems to the children, malnourishment. They didn't have enough care from their mother. So we also added a contraceptive clinic to our clinic, because the clinic, we do growth monitoring and just general checkups. We do vaccines, because there was nothing like that. When we started, you find that a baby comes to the clinic at 8 months old, and this is the first time they've been to a clinic. And you will note that our clinic has always been under a tree. But then
Wow.
Yeah, we were hosting it under a tree because we didn't have a building.
Oh,
But then to date, had it been our registers were all up to date, we would have a proper register of 6,000 plus women and children who have been frequenting our clinic under the same tree. But
oh,
then because some of our registers, they got destroyed in the rain because of lack of proper shelter. This happens. We do have registers, but they're not so adequate anymore. But we do know because from the time we've been collecting the data, would know that that register it got destroyed, but it was up to this much number, and then we continue and we continue. So it has been it was not easy at all, but it has been great. It has been very wonderful because we've managed to put their health passports in order. Now we have children who have vaccines from birth until and growth monitoring until they're 5. The women are on contraceptives and they can raise the children well.
oh,
After 2, 3 years, 4 years, they can have another baby. We have these classes to tell them how to take care of them clinically, to take care of themselves, how to take care of the children.
wow.
And then the school. Now we also have a proper functioning nursery school from, I think our youngest now is a year, 3 months old, up to 13. The one we have who is 13, he's 13 and is in nursery school because he's got learning difficulties. So when it comes to children with learning difficulties, we're not strict with age because he's 13, but he feels he's 2. So we're not strict with age, but most of our learners, they're from a year old to 7, 8, like that. But then when it's these ones with learning difficulties, because we also have play therapy classes for the children with learning difficulties, we are not strict with age. I've talked a lot. I still have more to talk about.
Mhm.
Just before the COVID hit, we started a program of teenage girls. We had a club for teenage girls. We'll talk to them about reproductive health because at the same area I'm talking about where our project is, we have a lot of alcohol abuse, teenage pregnancies, illiteracy, there's extreme poverty. So we also noted that most of the mothers who were coming to our clinic with babies, they were from 13, 14, 15, 16. So we had to do something for these young girls to keep them out of early pregnancy. So we started a program for teen youth. We would do sporting activities, would find other young girls who have made it educationally, financially, who are doing well for themselves, who bring them in and do motivational speaking with them just to help with the graph of these pregnancies. And it worked out well for some time. But then when COVID hit, because I was financing all of these projects when the COVID hit, I was financing them through my art business. And then when COVID came, the business was hit badly and we had to close down some of these projects. So now for the teen girls, it's not as functional as it was. We have individuals coming in. I talk to them, they come, they tell me about their problems, but it's not as functional as it was back then because we had that problem. Before COVID hit, we also opened an adult literacy club because I noticed that most of these women being illiterate, it was making a bad impact on the young girls. Because they actually needed somebody, parents, mothers, to look up to when they want to talk about educational issues. It would be good for somebody who would speak to them on the same level. So we started this program. It worked out well, but it was also disturbed with the COVID. So right now we only have a few individuals who come. They ask for these classes, and if we see that the need is very high, we accept them, but we cannot take as much as we used to back then because of the resources. And Alina, what else do we do? There are a number of things that we do. Remind me.
Yes,
Remind
you
me.
do a lot of things, but maybe tell a word I already I already told our co-host about your art gallery that is under construction now again, about fulfilling your dream.
So in early November, Alina introduced me to the Polish Medical Mission. They wanted to come and host a clinic in Malawi. So because they needed another clinical entity to invite them where they would host the clinic from, I was very privileged to be the one who could facilitate the clinic for the Polish Medical Mission. And then we went to the government. I told them about the project. We were accepted. And then the doctors came in. We hosted a clinic. I'm very proud to say that we had over 1,000 people who came for our clinic in 7 working days. Because we did say it was for 2 weeks, Alina, but we actually functioned for 7 working days.
Yes. It was less than 2 weeks, of course. Yeah, weekends
Yes,
were
it was
free.
less than 2 weeks.
Wow.
We had more than 1,000 people. They came. We had a dental clinic. And note that in Malawi, dental clinics are very scarce to get services from. The government ones, you find they're flooded. We don't have that many private ones, and if we do have them, they're very expensive. So the Polish medicals, they came. We hosted this clinic together. Everything was for free. We had scans, and we are very thankful to the company. Alina, you mentioned this company for me, please. They brought us the scanning devices, and it's also something that is very difficult to come across in Malawi because our medical services are free. So the government hospitals are very much flooded, and it's not a service that everybody can get just like that, nilly-willy. But when the Polish medicals came, it was very easy. People had ailments that they had been suffering from years. They didn't know what it was. But then when this medicals came and this facility, the dental.
Now we have a problem. Well, we have a problem because people keep asking us just to extend
Yes.
the services and to
Yes.
exchange our office into the clinic, what is not possible, of course. Yes, but we'll
Even
do
now,
our best to continue.
yes, even now I'm still being asked, why did you stop with the clinic? And when they came, the doctors, when we were talking, they told us that in Poland we have the ratio of 1 doctor to 15 patients. So we asked that may it be a doctor to about 20 to 30 patients. They agreed that was the ratio. But then when they came, the first day we had 1 doctor to about 65 patients. It was chaotic, but the doctors we had, they were very hardworking. They were very patient with us, with our assisting. They were very understanding. They were very loving. They pushed their limits. They pushed the limits to the maximum. The next day we had 85. So we had planned that we opened the gates at 9, we closed the gates at 4. But then the first day we opened the gates at 9, we closed at 2. The second day we opened the gates at 9, we closed at 11 because there were already more than 100 people inside. We managed to serve 85. The next day, the third day, we only opened the gates for 5 minutes and it was full. We opened for 5 minutes and we had to close because we also had more than 100 patients coming in. It was overwhelming, but it was very fulfilling. I enjoyed everything about it. Please, may I use your platform to thank the Polish medicals so very much. Malawi is very appreciative, very. The people are still talking about it, and I'm still getting testimonials of people saying, I had this problem for 15 years. I came to your clinic, I got medication, and in the next week I was fine. I've been going to the hospital. They didn't know what was wrong with me, but after the scanning, we found out what was the problem, and now I'm being treated for it. We have a lot of those, and Malawi is very, very, very grateful. Feel our gratitude. Very, very much.
So amazing. I
Yeah.
love your story.
Thank you. We are grateful.
I love
Okay, so
Yeah.
after this, I had one of the doctors who came with. After some time, they asked me, what is it exactly that you do? Because I noticed you know all of those people, you keep talking about children. And then I went into detail and explained to him what it is that I do. And then after some time, he asked me, do you make a profit? Do you make a living out of this? So I told him that I made a living out of my art. But then after some time, I got so absorbed in the clinic, in the nursery school. I got so absorbed in my foundation. I didn't even notice that I left my business behind. All of me got into the foundation. After some years, before I knew it, I didn't have a business anymore. It was just me and the foundation. I fell in love with the children so much. Children are not paperwork. They're human beings. You fall in love with them. They're young, they're pure. You go back home with them, you sleep with them in your head, you wake up. So I became a mother of a lot of children, and that was all that mattered. I stopped caring about the business. I didn't even plan to stop, but it just happened. It was very good that my husband takes care of all of our finances, my financial needs, the household. So I had the privilege to work for my passion. It was not giving me any income, but I have been doing it since 2017 to date. So while we were talking, then he asked me, uh, I know that sooner or later, if you've come this far with the foundation by yourself, sooner or later you're going to have a platform whereby people are going to come and help the foundation. But I want to help you. I'm worried about you. You have children of your own. Because after you go, you're going to leave a legacy for the community. But then what will happen to your own children? Because you're not building anything for them as Thelmah Mdala, as their mommy. So I would like to build you as Thelmah. He asked me what it is that I would love to do for myself. I told him about the gallery because of my background. My dad had a gallery, my brothers have galleries. That is all I've ever wanted. It was very natural and normal for me to say, when I grow up, I'm going to have a gallery, I'm going to do art because I was born like that. But then I got lost in my passion over the years. And then I told him that this is what I would want to do. And God's like, so why are you not doing it? I told him, because of my finances. So he asked me just like that. So if I help you build this gallery, if we get it going, would you accept the gift from me? I said yes. And he funded the gallery just like that. And right now, as we're speaking, the building is in progress. We're at the roofing level.
Oh,
Yes,
mm,
yes, 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 yes.
mm.
We are at the roofing level, and
Oh,
ah,
beautiful,
I'm very, I'm
beautiful.
very happy. I'm very happy. I'm 37. This is something I've always known. I've always been dreaming of to say, I will have an art gallery of my own, but I didn't know it was just going to come with like a click of my fingers like that. It happened without me thinking, without an effort, because I was so used to taking care of others. I
Mhm,
was so used to my husband telling me, go do it, do it, do it some more, do it some more. And
mhm.
then now somebody to just come and say, I will do it for you. It was a very, very big miracle. I'm still trying to put my head around it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been maybe 3 weeks that we've been talking about this. We've been into the gallery, but it finally hit me yesterday. I was telling him yesterday that for the first time I sat down and I'm thinking, it's really here. This is what I'm doing. The gallery is here. I'm here. You are here. We are here. I
wow.
couldn't help cry. I'm not allowed to cry because I've always had to be the strong one. But yesterday I cried. I think I spent the whole morning very happy tears. For the first
Yeah.
time, I could feel I can relax. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's
Oh,
happening. It's okay. It's okay. It was a very, very, very good feeling. I hope
Thank
he's
you,
watching.
Thelma.
I didn't ask to mention his name, so I won't mention his name, but he knows who he is.
oh,
Yes, and we are so
Yeah.
grateful. I even
oh,
spoke to him today.
You did.
beautiful. Oh,
Am I
Thank you
allowed to
very
mention his
much.
name?
Thank you, Thelma. Thank you for your story. I think we have to give some time
oh,
to
okay.
all
Yes,
wonderful co-hosts to ask you
I
some
know
questions.
they have some questions. So, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing your life with us. It's been amazing, and I hope you deserve to thrive too. And that's what showed up in your life. I hope you see
Yes.
for yourself because what you've been giving to everyone else, it's now coming back to you. And thank you that you accepted it so easily. Because a lot of people that are givers don't know how to accept back. So good for you. I love it. I love your story. I love your story. Okay, Jackie has her hands up. And she has a question for you. Go ahead. Oh, you are muted, Jackie.
I am almost without words,
Me
and
too.
as anybody knows me, that's a little difficult to say. Um, I am very overcome by your story.
Oh,
It is worth a book, actually.
oh,
Um, and the fact that you have received what you need at this point is a miracle. However, all of the people on this screen know that we have other resources for you, especially for the literacy, especially, but although you're doing extremely well with the coaching of the girls
mm,
and the mothers, it's just beautiful. However, um, we do have answers should you want them in the area of literacy and a variety of other places. But my question to you, which is way too long, but I got to it anyhow, is what is it that you need, you feel that you need at this point?
Right now, what we really need is a proper clinic. We really need a proper clinic because, like I said, our clinic is still under a tree.
Oh, it is.
And
Okay.
it's raining. Whenever the rains come, our clinic is disturbed. But you find that the women now, they're very dedicated. They come all the way, and it's not comfortable to host children, especially babies, under this tree. And I think for the past years, I was content to say we have a clinic, it's functional. Yes, it's under a tree, it's functional. But then after the Polish medicals came, they inspired me so much. Now they left a hunger in me that says we really need a building, because I saw what we could do, I saw what we were doing, I saw the impact at a higher level of what this facility is capable of doing, how much it's capable of helping. So that's when I woke up, I smelled the coffee, and now I've seen the very big need of a proper clinic, a proper facility. That is our main focus on, because for the nursery school, we do have classrooms. Yes, they might not be so up to date, but they're functional. But the clinic is a miss. We seriously need a clinical building. Yes.
But you have the money for that, right? Because he's going to give you that.
No, he's giving the money for the gallery.
gallery.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's actually going to have her first gallery. Yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
So you
And
still need to
you
have the other.
you have the artisan thing. You want to see what
Yeah.
you might be able to do with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Oh
put
my
it,
goodness.
I'll introduce you to Christian in Congo because we're
Yeah.
teaching as well as promoting people with their
Mm.
crafts online to sell them on a website that we have already
Ah,
so that you would be able to do a lot more of that
Lovely,
as
lovely,
well.
lovely.
So
Love it.
I'll definitely introduce you to Christian and to do that. So that's good.
Thank
Malawi's not
you
that far away from Congo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so much.
wonderful. Yeah, that's a start. And of course, the literacy I could help you with too if you wanted. But yeah, let's start there. So be sure we have your contact information.
Oh
I
yes.
don't see it in the chat.
Hold on.
And
The chat is
also,
not open to everyone yet. Hold on. Let me go do that right now.
also, I want to tell everyone, and I'm not sure if it's
Okay.
international, but there's a list of 100 companies that are needing to get rid of money by the end of the year. And so they are looking for places to be able to do that. And that list is in the chat.
we need this money in Malawi. We need this
I
money in
know, but you
Malawi.
only have 2 weeks.
You only
So
have
the
2
point is,
weeks to put it out there. Yeah.
so formally go do that. I'm suggesting the format of just a basic what your passion, mission, vision, and values is, and then who your best target audience is, who the alliances you want to work with, the actual results that you will produce or have resulted in, and then the action to take. So that basic formula, I'll put that in the chat. Would probably make it happen. They're not going to go into a lot of detail, but they need to know your main focus, what you have accomplished. So you're going to have to be real clear about that and what you want to accomplish, and that you not assume, but you will accomplish. So I'll put that formula. Just be sure you save the chat and put
Thank
your
you.
contact information in the chat, please.
All
Beautiful.
right.
Go ahead.
Absolutely beautiful. Okay. We've got Susie. She has her hand up. Go ahead, Susie.
Yes, first of all, really, Thelma, you're really an inspiration, I know, to the whole of Africa in person. The work you did was just so amazing. And I also like the fact that even though you were caught up in all this business, when somebody presented you the opportunity to have a choice on following your passion, you definitely follow it. I have a question about that. Like, how did you it may be a deep question, but how did you even I know how you can be caught up in something you're passionate about and then you forget about yourself. So how did you even dig in yourself to have that courage to say, okay, what I want is a gallery actually?
Um, yeah, if it was just a once-off conversation to say, let's do a project for you, it was, yeah, I was not going to say yes just like that, but it took some time for us to talk about it. I think he took me from a place where I was drowning in my passion. He like pulled me out of it. He was very strategic about it because it was not just a one-time conversation. He made me see a bigger path to say, but you are in a better place to help others when you are comfortable, because you're getting into a space of panic for your own self. If you're not comfortable in your own skin, you're not comfortable in your own home. Imagine I had to imagine a state where, God forbid it, but where my husband is not there. It was going to be me, the children in my household, and these other children. They were going to be left very stranded. And if I'm going to be a proper adult, a proper parent, I also need to be financially capable, like personally financially capable to take care of these others. So to an extent, when I thought about it to myself, I thought, I'm kind of being selfish because I'm working for my passion. It was satisfying me as Thelma. It was satisfying my inner being, because I would think this is what I was made for. I'm happy doing this. But then I had other responsibilities that I was neglecting, and I really had to look into. So because he took me from this place to stages with the conversation down to here where I realized, because he actually asked me, do you realize that you need to be financially stable? It was now after the whole conversation that's when I thought, yeah, it is true. But then parts of me kept saying, but this money we could use it for the clinic, but this money we could use it. But then I was eventually sold. It was how he approached me with this conversation, with his request, that made me see a better side of it. And it was for the first time that I actually said it to myself. I actually said it out loud that I lost myself in my passion in the past years, and I'm not the person I used to be. I was very ambitious. I was a straight A student. The whole family was looking to me I was to be the next big thing. But then I lost myself in my passion, and I'm not apologetic. I don't regret the children. It's one of the best things I've done with my life. I don't regret it. But then it took me from years back to here, and I found that while heading towards this direction, I completely lost this one, and I need to put balance.
Balance.
So that's what made me agree. Yes, balance.
Beautiful, Thelma. Okay, we really have time for one more question. All right, Renata, please ask your question.
Oh, Thelma, thank you for sharing your story. Very inspiring. And my question is, we know that a lot of girls in Africa, they have a lot of responsibilities, and sometimes very soon, in very young ages. And sometimes they are so busy that they just don't know what are their dreams. And so would you say for the girls that are watching us today, to how do they know their dreams and pursue it?
Uh, experience has taught me that you need to take care of yourself first for you to be a better person. You take care of her. There is you. You you live for everybody when you're taking care of your responsibilities, but your first responsibility is you. Build you. When you build yourself, you are unbreakable when you try to build other people because you're already on steady ground. You've got a steady foundation. That is something I didn't have, and it made my journey somewhat painful. It had a lot of tears because at the age of 30, I found myself with a lot of children that I was now so deeply connected to, and I didn't have any capacity of taking care of them. God knows it has not been easy. My husband has been supportive, yeah. But then if I was not in that place that I had financial support from my husband, and if I was not as strong, it's something that could have broke me like completely. It was going to bring a lot of damage rather than good, because you find children coming to you saying, Nana, I don't want to be a witch anymore. I'm tired of witchcraft.
Mm.
And you don't have any resources to pull them out of the environment where they are in.
Mm.
Yeah, you find that she's 14, she comes, she's bruited, she's been battered badly, and while the husband was beating her up, he also started, it affected the baby was beaten. So I need resources to take these people to social welfare, to take these people from here to here, but then I was not capable of doing that financially, and at the end of the day it stayed with me, so it was breaking me.
Yeah.
So for any young girl who feels she has passions and she wants to follow them, you first build you. Make sure you're unbreakable. Make sure you can stand on that ground to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to help them emotionally and financially. Because if it's not like that, then all this is going to break you. So please don't follow passion ignorantly. You need to follow passion with a strong background. Yes. Ignorant passion will break you completely. Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thelma. Ooh, I'm just thrilled to have connected with you. I know every one of us here, we're all going to want to connect to you. So please make sure you put your information in the chat. And
Yes,
that
please.
you send me the information you want me to put in the description when I upload it into YouTube so people can
Okay.
contact you, donate to you, whatever it is. Okay. Please send me that
Thank you.
information. Yes, absolutely. And guys, thank you so much for another really amazing episode. Oh my goodness, guys, I think we're at episode 30. I somewhere in there. We're right around there. I kind of lost track since I had the flu. But anyway, please, if you love these episodes, please subscribe to our channel. Please share it with people. Share it with many women so that more and more women can be inspired by Thelma's story and be able to know that they have worth and they have passions that can be realized. And that's what I learned from Thelma today is her passion was really realized. And she still has her art and she's not like giving herself away inside of the passion that's been shown to her. So and she makes a huge difference, guys. So please make sure that you connect to us on LinkedIn. We're all over LinkedIn. All of the podcast hosts are all over LinkedIn. If you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, please reach out to us. We have many openings in 2025. We're fully booked for this year, but we have many openings for next year. So please join us. Okay. And thanks again for another amazing episode. Bye, everyone.
When we stand as one, there's no divide.